Okay, so just finished an assembly for Chongqing. It was at the chapel, so I came back on a Friday at 11:30 for this. Today I wanted to share some of my tips for being disciplined and building good habits. I think in the past 6 months, I've generally become a more disciplined person. I've started exercising every single day in the morning, and I've kept up for the most part with studying by doing Anki cards. My very first tip is to have an ideal week. And what this means is think about what a perfect week would look like for you. Think about what you would want to do in that week, what you wouldn't want to be doing in that week, and compare that to what a normal week in your life looks like at the moment. So would you want to be spending like an hour on social media every day? Is that something that you would be doing in your ideal week? Or in an ideal week, would you be spending more time reading? Doing this thought experiment is a good way to figure out the things that you want and the things that you don't want in order to set clearer goals when you're trying to be more disciplined. You want to be more disciplined, but you need to have some form of direction, which is why I recommend this thought experiment of thinking about what an ideal week in your life would look like. For me, I would be spending around some time every single day reading. So it would be maybe like 30 minutes to an hour reading. And I don't currently do that. So this is something I need to work on. Okay. I just managed to give myself a heart attack because I thought I lost my wallet at the assembly. And good thing I ran back and it was still there. So every day is good because it has like all my important cards, my student cards, money, everything, my keys. I was so scared, but I'm so glad I found it, and man, I feel really lucky today. All right, so besides that, my second tip is using streaks, and I feel like Snapchat basically had it all figured out before any of us, at least before me. I have found that building a streak with any of the habits I want to keep has been insanely helpful. This is something that Anki does really well, and I have this special add-on on my desktop that has a heat map. And basically that shows my streak of how many days I've been doing Anki and how many cards I've done every day. And I've also applied this with exercising. So at the very beginning, I was trying to build a streak of exercising every single day. Sometimes this exercise might not be doing strength training at home. Maybe it's just walking outside. Or on some days, maybe I really will take a break. But then there's the 2-day rule. Don't miss 2 days in a row. If I took a break yesterday, then I will make sure that I don't take a break today and that I get back on track, because you don't want to lose your momentum. The key in general though is to try building a streak and showing up every single day for the task, because that really helps you build the habit into consistency in order to be more disciplined with whatever you're trying to do. All right, heading home now. Number 3 is accountability, and this builds off of number 2 of trying to build a streak. Having an accountability partner or some kind of system to keep you accountable is really helpful for building these new habits. There are multiple ways that you can do this. So for me personally, my accountability buddy was basically my sister. When we were trying to build a new habit, and especially the same habit, we would keep each other accountable by updating each other like, oh, did you exercise yet today? Or, oh, did you do digital minimalism today? How was it? And sharing these like insights or like reflections with each other was really helpful in helping me create new habits. If you don't have a sibling to keep you accountable, maybe find a friend. Maybe it's like, if I don't go to the gym 5 days this week, then I'll pay you $50. And having some kind of monetary thing is also really helpful. If you can afford it, definitely go for it. If you can't afford it, maybe it'll be even more effective for making you stick with your goals. This accountability system can be as simple as letting a friend know what your goals are for the week and asking them for their permission for you to like just check in with them every single day and update them on your progress, or maybe ask them to check in with you maybe once or twice a week. Having the idea that someone else out there knows what your goals is, and the fact that you need to report back to them at the end of a week, is a good way to keep yourself accountable. So my next tip would be to have a very clear idea of what you need to get done that week and specifically that day. It's not enough to just be like, oh, I want to be productive today. You need to have a very clear idea of the things you need to get done. Crap, hang on a sec. Almost got on the wrong bus. But yeah, so it's so helpful to time block for me personally. I find that the days I actually block out the time to do the thing I have to do. So say I have to make new cards for lectures, for 2 lectures today. So if I block out from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., it increases my chances of actually getting that done by like 200%. I kid you not. I find that in the days that I don't time block, I end up not doing it because either A, I don't know what time I should be doing it, and then things just run into one another and I just can't find the time, or B, I just totally forget. I keep on procrastinating and I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, I need to do this, but I don't really feel like doing it. Maybe I'll have more time later today, and that is the issue. So blocking out a specific time, the earlier the better. Like the earlier in the day, the better it is for you, because you want to get your hardest tasks done first thing in the morning. But in general, just blocking out time for a particular task or a particular goal you have for the week is so helpful. And having a clear goal is a tangible way to see what you need to get done. If you just want to say, oh, I want to be more productive, that's not going to cut it. You need to have a clear idea of what you need to get done that day. For me, usually it's A, clearing out my Anki reviews, and B, making sure that I exercise that day. So exercise usually gets done first thing in the morning, and then afterwards, once I'm done exercising and eating breakfast, fixing all of that, then I start working at like 10 a.m. And that way I get all my hardest tasks done first thing in the morning, and I'm a happy camper. Okay, finally, my last tip would be to really just start small. I've had times where I've tried creating like 5 new habits in a day. It never works though. Just start small, start with one thing you want to change, and try to pick a keystone habit where if you fix that thing, it will also help fix a lot of other things in your life. For me, a keystone habit was doing digital minimalism, being very mindful about the way I spend my time on my phone, using social media, and just using the internet in general. That has been a keystone habit for me, and doing that has made me, it's freed up more time for me to do things that I actually value, such as reading, or it's freed up time for me to do more studying. I also mean to start small by having a very low threshold for creating new habits. Maybe your new goal is to start exercising more regularly. Instead of aiming to do a 60-minute workout every single day, maybe just start with a 10-minute workout. There's no reason for you to not be able to achieve that goal of just 10 minutes because the threshold is so low. The activation energy is thus also lower. So just start small and slowly build up from that, instead of setting huge goals for yourself and falling short, being disappointed, and just quitting and stopping altogether. So those are my 5 tips for improving your habit building skills and improving your discipline. Firstly, it's thinking about what an ideal week looks like in your calendar, and then it's also building a streak and finding some kind of accountability partner. Once you've found a way to keep yourself accountable, either through some form of system or through a friend, then also make sure that you're setting clear daily goals as to what exactly you need to get done. Finally, just remember to start small. It's better to do something instead of doing nothing. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, check out some of my other videos up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!